In this video, I wanted to talk about Luka Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks. They're starting to look scary now. This is a team that's starting to hit their stride, and they're playing much better lately. I mean, you look at the Dallas Mavericks, they have won 6 of their last 7 games, and they're coming off a nice win against the Pelicans, in which Luka Doncic had 49 points, 15 rebounds, in a 125-118 victory. Doncic made 4 of his first 5 3-point shots before finishing 7 of 14 from deep. Don't look now, but here come the Dallas Mavericks. Before we continue, please do me a solid favor. Drop a like on the video. It does help the algorithm a ton. And please subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this. Make sure you turn on those post notifications because I'll be coming out with a lot more content in the second half of the season. So in that game against the Pelicans, Doncic was magnificent. He pushed the Dallas lead back over 20 points in the third quarter with a sequence that had even the New Orleans fans gasping in awe and on their feet. It started with a driving layup as he was fouled, followed by a 3, and then capped off by a driving dunk that gave him 20 points in the period, which did put this game out of reach for the Mavericks. Doncic recorded his 4th career 45-point game, tying Mark Aguirre for the most in Mavericks history. This is Luka Doncic's last 4 games. 49 points, 15 rebounds, 8 assists. 21 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. 45 points, 15 rebounds, 8 assists. 51 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. Over his last 5 games, Luka Doncic is now averaging 39.8 points per game, 11.2 rebounds per game, 7.8 assists per game, shooting the ball at 48% from the field, and 47% from 3. These are unreal numbers. While everybody thinks it's a 2-man race for the MVP, Luka Doncic is trying to input himself in this race for the final stretch of the season. And since Luka Doncic received 0 All-Star starter votes from the media, which has been over the span of 10 games ago, he's been averaging 35.4 points per game, 10.3 rebounds per game, 9.8 assists per game, shooting 43.3% from 3 on 9.7 attempts. These numbers are absolutely absurd. And beyond Luka Doncic, this Mavericks team, they're starting to gel, they're starting to click. And we're going to start by talking about the Mavericks rotations. These rotations, they look good. Despite having just added Dinwiddie and Bertans at the deadline, their roles seem to be clearly defined on this team. The size that Dinwiddie provides, combined with both Powell and Kleba's ability to play the 4 and 5, makes this group extremely versatile. Kleba has been playing incredible from off the bench. He logged 19 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 block on Thursday. Dallas has a lot of options and flexibility now down the stretch with these lineups. The return of Bullock and Chris will give Jason Kidd even more tools to work with. And then something that has really transformed this Mavericks team, especially since the start of the new year, this Dallas defense. This defense is locked in. Dallas is 5th in defensive efficiency, and they have been one of the best defenses since the start of the new year. And this has really turned the Mavericks season around. And even Luka Doncic, it's not just his offense. His elite defense is starting to come into full display. And Jason Kidd said this on Luka Doncic's defense. Sometimes players just need to be asked to do something, and he's done a great job. I think he's playing at a high level. Next step is for him to be recognized as one of those all-NBA defense teams. And then, of course, the defense leads to great offense. The offense of the Dallas Mavericks has been thriving. While a majority of Dallas's offensive success is clearly attributed by Luka Doncic and his playing style, the Mavericks as a whole have stepped up collectively. The Mavericks shot 53.7% from the field and 47.5% on 40 attempts from 3 on Thursday. The addition of Dinwiddie and Bertans have proven to be big ones early on. With the extra playmaking and floor spacing, that is something this Dallas Mavericks team is going to rely on, especially come playoff time. Having a bunch of guys around Luka who can stretch the floor and hit shots, that's going to prove to be a big-time component of this team. So we will see over these last 25 games if that's going to be long enough for Luka and these guys to develop the much-needed chemistry going into the playoffs. Because if these guys get it going together, they are going to be a deadly unit. Dallas, they need to help Luka Doncic out offensively, especially come playoff time. And guys like Dinwiddie and Bertans could be 2 X factors that could get the job done. So don't look now, but things are starting to look better for Dallas without Porzingis. And I'm not going to lie, I was one of those people when the trade first went down, I was scratching my head a little bit. I didn't think it made sense initially. I thought that the Mavericks didn't get enough back for Porzingis. I was questioning why they were so quick to disrupt this duo of Porzingis and Luka. But then it hit me. I think this was necessary for the Mavericks to take that next step. Clearly, Porzingis and Luka were never going to be that 1-2 punch that fans had hoped, and they were never going to be that 1-2 punch to lead this Mavericks team to the promised land. So it was only a matter of time until this breakup had to happen. And it's one that might be the only way for the Mavs to go where they need to go in the long run. So I think this trade for Porzingis, or trading away Porzingis, has turned the page for the Mavericks. And let's see now if they could get it done come playoff time with this group. Because one of the biggest asterisks of this entire Mavericks team has been, can they win in the postseason? Can they compete when it matters and do enough to keep Luka happy where he can stay here in Dallas? We're going to find out with this upcoming playoff run. Without Porzingis, with these new guys around Luka, is that going to be enough for this Mavericks team to finally get past the first round, which is something everybody's been dying to see in Dallas? This is a team that is going to be evaluated come playoff time because they have come up short their last couple of years. And it's no knock on Luka. He has done everything he has had to do. It's everybody else around him. Can he get that much needed help? And clearly, having Porzingis there was not enough to get Luka and this group over the top. So we'll see if this change does exactly that. But so far, this Mavericks team has looked good without Porzingis. And even when Porzingis was in and out of the lineup before this with injury, the Mavericks were still stellar, both offensively and more impressively, defensively. An area that I thought they were going to struggle in with Porzingis out, but they have shown to be a better defensive team at times without Porzingis on the floor. And if you look ahead to the playoffs, if the playoffs started today, the Dallas Mavericks would be taking on the Utah Jazz. Now, the Jazz are going to be problematic in a playoff series, most definitely, especially when you got to go up against Rudy Gobert, who is looking like one of the Defensive Player of the Year candidates, and Donovan Mitchell, who is a stud. But personally, that's a series I can see the Mavericks winning. That's a series I can see them getting past onto the second round. There's still a lot of time between now and then. A lot can shake up in the West, but if Dallas can stay around that 5th or 4th spot, I think they'll be in a good position to finally get past the first round. You obviously want to avoid playing teams like the Phoenix Suns, the Golden State Warriors, even the Memphis Grizzlies in the West. So if Dallas can stay where they're at around that mark, this is going to be a team that can make things interesting in a playoff series. And again, it would be them and the Jazz if the playoffs started today. I think a lot of Dallas Mavericks fans would feel okay with that playoff series, especially since the Jazz have not looked as dominant this season as they did last season. But we'll see what happens. It's going to be a fun second half of the season, but things are starting to click for Luka and the Mavericks. And if this team gets hot at the right time, which they are doing so right now, look out. They could maybe be one of those teams that you got to look out for in the West, as they're starting to look pretty scary as one of those middle-of-the-pack teams that could make some noise if things go their way. So we'll see how Luka Doncic continues his tear. He's been playing magnificently going into the All-Star break. I suspect him to carry this throughout past the All-Star break and into the playoffs, and let's see if those role players can step up for Luka Doncic and if everything can come together for the Dallas Mavericks, as Jason Kidd has done a great job with this team thus far. All right, so we will see what happens. Dallas started the season off shaky, and all of a sudden, they got life in what's shaping up to be a very competitive race, especially atop of the Western Conference playoff picture. This is Luca Rosano signing off. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all again in the next video.